former Washington Husky, kicking off to Mark Higgs and Heath Sherman. And we're underway in Philadelphia. And Jaeger really gets into this one. It'll be taken by Higgs about 8 yards into the end zone, a touchback. And the Eagles offense will start with it at their own 20-yard line. Offensively, that line anchored by their center, David Alexander. Mike Shad, Ron Sold, according to Randall Cunningham, the best offensive lineman he has had since he's been here in Philadelphia. And joining Randall Cunningham in the backfield, Tony and Byers. Byers, the brilliant pass catcher up the backfield. Chris Carter, Ron Johnson getting his first start of the season. And Johnson with only one catch so far coming into today. And the tight end, one of the very best in all of football, Keith Jackson. The give goes to Tony. Very little there. Past the 22. Only a gain of 2. This defense has been so tough against the run over the last 2 weeks for the Los Angeles Raiders. And are they ever large? Golick having so much fun. The former Cleveland Brown in the middle at the nose tackle position. King, Robinson, Benson, and Townsend, the linebackers for the Los Angeles Raiders. The secondary, great second-year man Terry McDaniel, Washington Harden, and also Eddie Anderson, who had an interception last week. Second and long for Cunningham. 2nd and 8. His own 22-yard line. Johnson and Carter, the 2 wide receivers. They'll keep it on the ground, though, with Tony. Huge hole. First down, Anthony Tony. All the way to the 36-yard line. 14-yard carry.
You know, Keith Byers, not only is he a great runner and excellent receiver, but as a blocker, he is superb. He's going to number 41. Look at this block. He comes into the middle of the field, takes on Jerry Robinson, the former Eagle, blocks him, opens the hole. Tony has first down.
Over the last 2 weeks, the Raiders held the New York Jets to only 80 yards on the ground. Last Sunday against the Chiefs with Christian Okoye, they held the Chiefs to only 78 yards. But the Eagles get a first down on that 14-yard carry. Play action for Randall Cunningham on 1st and 10. And throws it behind his intended target, the tight end, Keith Jackson. Now, let's look again at that Raider defense, because they will make a switch when they go to their Pirate 50. They'll be going with an extra defensive back. They'll also bring in an extra down lineman. It'll bring up 2nd and 10. The ball at the 36-yard line. There come the extra down linemen, Mike Wise and Mark Mraz. The extra defensive back, 35-year-old Mike Haynes, who was a starter at the corner last year. Almost hard to believe at the age of 34. 2nd and 10 now. With Cunningham at the Eagles at their own 36. Tony bottled up in the backfield. Wise has him. Scott Davis dropping Tony for a loss of a little bit better than 2 back at the 34.
The big problem on that play, Davis did a great job, no question about it, but the left guard, Mike Shad, never got out of the way. I mean, you got to get out of the way of the runners when they're running with the football. If you can't block somebody, get out of the way.
3rd and 12, and now the Raiders making that adjustment, bringing in an extra defensive back. Seth Lee coming in. So the nickel alignment, 5 defensive backs in there now for the Los Angeles Raiders. Out of the shotgun on 3rd and 12. Cunningham has problems. Breaks away, though. Will he be able to run for the first down? No, he's dragged down from behind by Greg Townsend. He's short of the first down by about 5. Pulled down at the 41-yard line. Townsend is so large, but at the same time, Paul, so quick.
He's so quick, but Cunningham, you know, we talked about it right at the beginning, about his ability to run with the football. We know he can throw. We know he can get away from people. Here's how he gets away from people. Now look at the pressure. Jerry Robinson from the outside, number 57, does not make the tackle, cuts off his own man. Then Townsend, with his excellent speed, finally catches. Cunningham, if you see Byers 41 out front, had Cunningham gotten by, he'd have been gone for about another 10 or 12 yards.
John Telchik with a 40-yard average to start the day. Taking it away, and it's off the end of his foot. A wobbler, but he gets a favorable bounce to Bobby Joe Edmonds, who will not touch it. As it rolls dead inside the 25 at the 22-yard line. A 38-yard punt by Telchik with no return. And the Eagles defense, you hear that roar on the field because the Eagles defense is on the field for the first time today.
9, backup tight end, David Little. He is Mike Haynes. And this is where it all starts. Then they had a little pushing and shoving. And that's what basically a lot of the screaming was. And they were screaming for the defense. They love them.
These two teams haven't gotten together all that often as they work on the hand of the offensive lineman, Ron Solt. tested positive for steroids and missed the final preseason game, the first 3 regular season games. But these two teams have only met 4 times during the regular season, but they did get together once in the postseason. Talk about that in just a second. Now, on the offensive line, they've got Don Mosbar back after Turk started last week at center. And in the backfield, Jackson will not start. It'll be Smith and Mueller, but we'll see Jackson very early. Galton, Fernandez, the wide receivers, with plenty of speed at the wideout position for Los Angeles. Mueller's the motion man on 1st and 10 from the 22. Smith gets it. Power football. That's what the Raiders want to play. But trying to behind his right tackle and right guard. It's a gain of close to 6. Out near the 28-yard line. When the Raiders adjust in 2nd and 3rd down passing situations and go to their 3 wideout offense, Bo Jackson will enter the game, as well as the extra wide receiver Mike Alexander. Double tight end set now for the Raiders. 2nd and a short 5. The ball close to the 28-yard line. They go with Dial and Ethan Horton, the 2 tight ends. Mueller on the handoff. And Mueller bottled up after crossing the 30 near the 31-yard line. He needs to go to the 32 for the first down. The Eagles' front 4 considered by many to be the best defensive front 4 in the entire NFL. Reggie White anchoring that group. Clyde Simmons, their sack leader so far this season. Linebackers, Joyner, Evans, and Harris. Harris, a big plus, coming over from the Chicago Bears this year. And Jenkins, Waters, Hopkins, and Eric Allen in the secondary. 3rd and a yard. 3 tight ends in there now. Trey Junkin also enters the Raider lineup. Movement on the line. It looks like they got Jerome Brown offside.
Encroachment, defense, number 99, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Free first down for the Los Angeles Raiders. As Jerome Brown was trying to anticipate that snap count. Now when the Eagles go to their extra defensive back, their nickel alignment, Brazil will come in, joining those 4 others who we were just talking about. And Al Harris will depart, the linebacker. 1st and 10 for the Raiders is Jay Schrader near the 36-yard line. Smith, that same tandem in the backfield with Mueller, the man in motion. And Schrader looking to go deep on the pump fake. And it's dropped. That was the tight end Mike Dial. He had Mervin Fernandez, though, wide open on the sideline.
He had 2 guys standing there, Dial and Fernandez, and neither one of them were coming back to the quarterback who's in trouble. And they're both standing in the same position, which only one defensive man had to cover.
Scores around the NFL now on this 7th Sunday of the season. 3 games just underway.
Some very interesting scores.
Pittsburgh-Houston should be a great matchup today. A lot of scoring in the early going ball.
Yeah, I know. Some very interesting scores. A lot of eggs up there.
They line up Galton, Fernandez on the same side on 2nd and 10. Schrader had big problems throwing the ball last week. He was taken out of the game, goes over the middle for Galton. It's knocked away by Wes Hopkins, the safety. Galt has got to become involved in this offense, Paul. He did not catch a pass last week against the Kansas City Chiefs. Over the last 5, he only has 5 receptions.
All right. When you take a look at Galt, you know, he's at the bottom of your screen, and he's going to come into the picture. Hopkins, instead of Hopkins just waiting on it, if he goes and attacks the ball, he can get the interception. He waits on Galt. Now watch Galt at the bottom of the screen. Here he comes across, or in the middle of the screen, excuse me, and there's Hopkins waiting on the ball. If he goes for the ball, he has the interception.
3rd and 10. The ball still at the Raiders' 36-yard line. That nickel package in there for the Eagles. The 7-step deep drop by Schrader. Buying some time and throwing it away. In the general direction of Willie Galt, who is coming back on it. It'll be a punting situation for the Raiders.
You know, Schrader did the smart thing. Instead of taking that sack back there around the 10-yard line, because he had Mike Pitts in his face, he just threw the ball away. The only guy that really had a shot at it was Willie Galt. The ball was thrown, so Philadelphia couldn't intercept it.
Henry Gizmo Williams will wait for the punt from Jeff Gossett. He's in his 8th year out of Eastern Illinois. Good hang time. Williams at the 19. hangs on to the ball. Earlier this week, Buddy Ryan said, Gizmo Williams, yeah, if he drops one, he's gone.
No pressure, huh?
A lot of confidence in his punt returner. 46-yard punt. A 3-yard return to the Eagles. Have it back when we return to Philadelphia. It's scoreless so far at Veterans Stadium. Welcome back once again. Joel Myers along with Paul McGuire. First and 10 for the Eagles. The delay going to Keith Myers to the 25-yard line. He gets 4 on the carry. 9.5 minutes left in the first quarter. This Eagle offense was virtually a no-show in Phoenix last week, Paul. They were shut out by the Phoenix Cardinals defensive unit, 5-0 after the first 30 minutes of play. Was it ever a rough first half for Randall Cunningham? His first half, he ended up with 3 interceptions.
Well, the one thing about the Eagle offense, it puts so much pressure on the defense because not only do you have to worry about the running of Byers and Tony, but you really have to worry about the running of Randall Cunningham.
Tony will try it again. He is racked up as soon as he crossed the original line, the 25-yard line. Stacked up to 26 for a gain of only 1, bringing up a 3rd and 5.
Plan B player, Bob Golick. Jerry Robinson played here at Philadelphia. No animosity towards his team. He was traded. But look, he's on Keith Jackson, and that's his first concern. I got to look at Jackson. I can't let him off the line of scrimmage. Then he gets in and helps out on the play. But the guy on the bottom is Bob Golick, number 79.
We asked Jerry yesterday if he considers Cunningham dangerous. He says yes when his heart's beating and he's breathing. He's dangerous.
Great line.
5 defensive backs in there. Tony gets away from the first tackle. Can't elude the second, though. He's down at the original line. And when we came over to the ballpark today, we knew the Raiders wanted to make a commitment to the ground game, but now it looks like the Philadelphia Eagles in the early going, at least, Paul, trying to do the same.
Well, talking to the Philadelphia Eagles, when you talk to their offensive coordinator and people, they feel that in the second half is when they can run against the Raiders. They think they tired down just a little bit in the second half, but it's surprising to see them trying to run at the Raiders in the first half.
Telchik into punt for the second time. With Bobby Joe Edmonds for the Los Angeles Raiders. Edmonds, 2 out of the last 3 years, led the AFC in punt returns. Long count, the Raiders aren't jumping offside. Line drive spiral, returnable time for Edmonds. Breaks the initial tackle, and a flag is down to the play. So is Edmonds at the 34-yard line. 53-yard punt by John Telchik, a 7-yard return. Checking with our referee, though, to find out about that penalty flag. The referee today is Dick Hantak.
Greg Townsend is the guy that really slowed up Andrew Tony on that last running play.
10-yard penalty, first down.
That's
Chris
where
Carter called on the hold. We'll be right back to Philadelphia.
Sports is still on the line. Dial 1-900-226-8000 for NBC Scores Plus. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Just before we broke away, it was an illegal use of hands call against the Los Angeles Raiders, and it was called on Timmy Ware, the former USC Trojan. So that penalty against Ware, and Bo Jackson in the contest for the first time today. Midway through the first quarter of a scoreless affair between the Eagles and the Raiders. Got up to a slow start in the first 30 minutes last week, but really came on in the second half. 85 yards on the day.
He'll draw some attention.
Just a little on his first carry of the day, trying to reverse his field. He can't get away from Clyde Simmons. Sack leader for the Philadelphia Eagles. One of the players will be keen on today, Paul, because of the man he's matching up with on the offensive line, Rory Graves, for the Los Angeles Raiders. Cincinnati getting on the board first in a matchup with the Indianapolis Colts. Miami also with a touchdown. And the Minnesota Vikings leading on the road at the Silverdome.
That ball not only draws the crowd, but Bo Jackson also draws the crowd, doesn't he?
He was dropped at the original line. It brings up 2nd and 10 at the 22. This time it's Steve Smith. Raiders want to get back to what they call, and Archell told us yesterday, Raider football. Power football with the long game, the home run threat all the time. And they've got that in Willie Gault as the wide receiver.
They have the long threat. They know that Schrader has been talking to the coaching staff yesterday and talking to Art, and even Schrader himself. They know that he's had some problems in the last couple of games, and I'm talking about Jay Schrader, so they've shortened the patterns up just a little bit to get his accuracy back.
Jackson takes the break. Mueller enters the contest. He's in the backfield with Steve Smith on 3rd and 6. The ball to the 26. Schrader behind Vance Mueller. It falls incomplete. Al Harris, the outside linebacker, defending on the play.
It's just a bad throw, and you blame Schrader for this, and I don't know if Vance Mueller would have gotten the first down or not, but Schrader threw the ball behind him, and it's a very difficult thing to catch the ball when there's a linebacker breathing down your neck when they hit you in the numbers with it, let alone throwing it behind you.
Jeff Gossett in to punt it away to Gizmo Williams, his first year in the NFL. After playing 3 seasons with the Edmonton Eskimos in the Canadian Football League. High spiral. Room for Gizmo, though. Williams breaking tackles up to the 35-yard line. Solid field position for the Eagles' 3rd offensive series of the day, brought down by Trey Junkin, the reserve tight end. A 46-yard punt, a 7-yard return. Be right back to Philadelphia with 5 minutes and 45 seconds left in the first.
And here's Al Harris here. Now, I said to you, he's going to come out and run here, and here's Harris covering. And I said to you, it's very difficult catching the ball when they hit you in the numbers when there's a linebacker on you. Watch what happens when they throw it behind you. Now, Mueller has to turn his body all the way around, and when he does, Harris is right in his face. You can't catch it, pal.
The Raiders going with 8 men on the defensive front. Cunningham throwing. Has problems, and he's sacked for the first time today. Mike Wise. 3rd-year man of the University of California, Davis, has Randall Cunningham, the leading rusher for the Philadelphia Eagles over the last 2 seasons, this year as well.
Weiss and Golick, 90 and 79. 90 is Weiss, 79 is Golick. Watch this. When Cunningham comes inside, look who's there. Both of them. That's beautiful defense, and that's a loss of a yard.
It brings up 2nd and 11. The ball back at the 29-yard line. Cunningham on a deeper drop. Dumps it off in the flat. Tony's got it. Can't beat Jerry Robinson. He's down at the 37-yard line. This has got to be a very emotional game for Jerry Robinson. Comes back. He was a member of the Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl team after the 1980 season when they lost to the Los Angeles Raiders. And what he told us yesterday was very funny. He said it's really strange to be coached by a guy I played against in the Super Bowl, Art Shell.
Yeah, I know. And the other thing, too, is when he said his wife, when they introduce you, Jerry, they may boo you there in Philadelphia. He said, well, that will only last a couple of minutes. This game's going to last over 3 hours. I'm not worried about the 2 minutes of booing.
3rd and 8 for the Eagles. Outside of their own 27. 0-2 and 3rd down conversion. Going deep for Carter. Lionel Washington knocks it away. Coverage by the Raiders quarterback.
Well, I like what the officials are going to let him do. A little pushing and shoving, that's all right. If you're going to let him do it. If you're consistent with it. To the right of the screen, you're going to see Carter down there. And there's just, before this happened, there was a little bit of pushing and shoving by Lionel Washington and Carter both, but they let him get away with it. Let him play football.
So the Eagles waste solid field position. They started with it at their own 35. 3rd punt already this afternoon for John Kelchick. Bobby Joe Edmonds waiting back to the Raiders at his own 21-yard line. Low line drive again. Edmonds from the 24. Breaks the first tackle. Going across the 35 to the 36-yard line. So the Raiders improving upon their field position after only a 39-yard punt by Telchik and 11-yard return. And the Raiders with their best field position so far to start a drive. Just outside of the 35-yard line. The first 2 started at their own 22. Wind dying down a little, but still should be a factor in the kicking game today. It is swirling around Veterans Stadium.
All they've done so far is just trading in field position, about 18 yards apiece.
Jackson in the backfield once again, along with Steve Smith. Jackson is the motion man. Schrader with time, going deep for Bo Jackson, and it's almost picked off by Izell Jenkins. Double coverage is what Schrader was throwing into.
Well, Schrader didn't see Izell Jenkins on the play, and that's what the problem happened. He thought he had Bo Jackson with one-on-one coverage with Seth Joyner, number 59, and that's what Schrader read. Then all of a sudden, Izell stepped up. They disguised the defense perfectly and almost had the interception. You're going to see Bo Jackson coming out of the backfield. See 59, Seth Joyner? Now, he's the man that's covering one-on-one. And this is what Schrader sees. He doesn't see number 46, Jenkins, right there, almost made the interception.
2nd and 10 at the 35-yard line. Jackson looking for room up the middle, going absolutely nowhere. He's across the 36 near the 37. Called it a gain of close to 2, and that is all.
We saw a little bit of Bo watching the film last week with Jackson, but when you take a look at Bo, it's just almost like he's still not sure of where to go. He knows how to go and with whom to go with. He doesn't really know where to go. He's not sure of the holes yet.
10 touchdowns in 18 career games for Bo Jackson. He's got 1 yard so far and 2 carries. The 3rd and 8 coming up for the Raiders. Schrader looking for his first completion of the day. He's 0 for 5. Last week, he was only 5 for 16 before being yanked up the game late in the 3rd quarter. They brought in Steve Berline. Pocket holds up well for Schrader. Flares it out. Mueller's got it. He's got the first down for the Raiders across the 47 to the 48-yard line. Vance Mueller, his 4th year from Occidental College.
It was an interesting pattern because they had Fernandez and Galt on one side, and they ran everybody just to this one side of the field, to their left of the field, and Mueller ends up over there. When you take a look at this thing, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Here it is right here. Fernandez and Galt, and here's Mueller, and watch what happens. They come down, tight end blocks, he comes under, but they all come into the same side of the field. Jenkins doesn't cover.
1st and 10 for the Raiders. Stumbling into the handoff. Jackson torpedoed by linebacker Al Harris at the original line of scrimmage.
All right, now you see the end of it. And I look at Vance Mueller. He's on the bottom. He gets where the first down marker is, but Jenkins did not make the coverage there. First down. But when you have that much time to throw, and Schrader had that much time to throw, you're going to find the open man.
The Eagles defense and Al Harris in on that last play, doing an outstanding job in the early going of stopping the Raider ground game. Raiders going back to that double tight end set. The lone wide receiver is Willie Galt. On 2nd and 9. The ball to the 49-yard line. Jackson wrapped up again, right at the midfield stripe. Al Harris. One of the first Eagles in on the play.
You know what's amazing about this? You watch what Al Harris has done. He's made 2 tackles so far. But what they are doing is they're making sure that Bo Jackson cannot move to the outside. Right out here is Al Harris. When he comes across, he's kind of screening in here. Jackson's going to come. He has to go this way, cannot go outside because Harris is there. Watch what happens. The right of your screen, here's Harris. He just takes everything back to the inside. Simmons is there, and then the defensive line and linebackers make the play in the middle. No place to run.
Raiders are 1 of 3 in 3rd down conversions. This is a 3rd and 8 with the ball at the 50. Fernandez, Galt, the wide receivers. Pressure coming. Schrader unloading for Fernandez, and it's almost picked off by Isel Jenkins. He was probably as surprised as anybody that it hit him right between the numbers.
He hit him in the face. Hit him right smack in the face mask. There was a blitz outside, and he had to dump the ball. Sorry, I'm going to hit him in the face.
You love it.
Oh, yeah, I do. If it hits you between the eyes, you should catch it.
Gossett in to punt it away for the Raiders. Gizmo Williams waiting back at the 10-yard line for the Eagles. We'll be selecting the Budweiser MVP for today's game at the conclusion of the contest. So the busiest players on the field so far today, the 2 punters. As Gossett hangs up a high one, a short one. Fair catch called for by Gizmo Williams, and he's got it. Let's look back at that play where Isel Jenkins got it right between the eyes.
Well, he's turning one way, and the ball's thrown away. Even from Galt, no one can catch the ball. But when Isel turns around, the ball hits him right smack in the face. I love it. Look at him. He's upset. He thought, well, maybe I should have had it. That's what you call looking the ball all the way in. Sorry, but it's beautiful.
If it would have stuck in his helmet. What an interception.
That would have been an
What an interception. 1st and 10 for the Eagles. He fires on the carry, banging his way out across the 25 near the 29-yard line. And Mike Wise is down on the play, an injured Los Angeles Raider. He was holding onto his knee very early. Wise was in on that sack, along with Bob Golick of Randall Cunningham. The only sack so far for the Los Angeles Raiders. Here's the play coming at you, and if you're a linebacker, you get a good idea of the way the play is developing for the Philadelphia Eagles.
They're going to come to the left-hand side of the screen, and you're going to see them coming. They're coming right at you. There's number 90, Wise, that goes down. And just excellent block. And Tony gets a good block, number 25. That time for Byers. Byers blocks for Tony. Tony blocks for Byers. Very simple process. I don't think he got hurt hitting the knee or anywhere. I just think that he got the wind knocked out of him.
Stay tuned for the second half of our NFL doubleheader on most of these NBC stations, and many of our viewers will see the Patriots taking on Joe Montana, the Super Bowl champion San Francisco 49ers, and it's going to be a homecoming of sorts for NBC's Bill Walsh in that San Francisco-New England game. It'll be played at Stanford Stadium in Palo Alto. Bill, the coach of the Stanford Cardinal back in 77 and 78, captured bowl victories in both seasons with Stanford, and also captured a Super Bowl win in that stadium over the Miami Dolphins. Joining us for the second half of our doubleheader is Tony. Picks up the first down. Tony all the way out to the 40-yard line. A run of close to 11 yards.
Well, you got to like Tony's running, but again, the play before, Tony blocked for Byers. On this play here, you're going to see Keith Byers blocking for Tony. The offensive line is blocking, there's no question about it. But it's just nice to see. This guy right here. Here's Tony, 25, but right in front of him is Byers, and watch the block he gets in the hole. Here comes the block into the hole, and that's on Jerry Robinson, enables Tony to make the break, and then, of course, Davis gives him a little flipper downfield, number 70, and says that's far enough.
Pitch goes to Byers. Won't be able to turn the corner. Stop for no gain. The linebackers got there. The leading tackler so far this season for the Los Angeles Raiders, one of the first ones over there. That's Tom Benson out of Oklahoma. The Raiders are his fourth team after playing with the Falcons, the Chargers, and he was with New England last year.
Don't you just have the feeling, now watch this, that we sat for hours with Philadelphia yesterday, and we talked to everybody about what are you going to do offensively. They said the second half we want to run against the Raiders. But don't you have the feeling that they're setting up some kind of play action, some reverse, something that's going to catch the Raiders defense guessing?
They worked on a couple of gadget plays. This one's a straight power play, though. It only goes to the 41. They're carried by Tony. That was a 2nd and 10 situation. Brings up 3rd and long, but during practice this week, we were told that the Eagles did work on a couple of gadget plays. We'll see if they implement them later in the contest. When I say gadget plays, the reverse, the fake reverse, maybe the lateral back to Randall Cunningham. That very well should be the final play of the first quarter. Offensively, a sluggish start for both sides. There's the gun, ending the first 15 minutes of play at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia with no score. Cunningham and the Eagles looking at a 3rd and 8 to start the second quarter, close to 9. Ball to their own 41-yard line. 3 wide receivers in there. Cunningham. The pocket holds up. Over the middle for Jackson. The tight end's got it. And gets the first down across the 50. It was tipped by Terry McDaniel. The quarterback can't do much better on coverage on that type of play.
You know, it's perfect coverage, and you're talking about, here's an all-pro tight end, and he shows you exactly why he's an all-pro tight end. That's Keith Jackson. The coverage is perfect. Cunningham sees him going across. Look at McDaniels is there. McDaniels there, no chance to get the ball. The most important part about this is when Keith Jackson caught the ball, he's still 2 yards or so away from a first down. Total concentration, gets the ball. Now look, he's got to go across the yard marker and picks up another 3 yards and a first down.
1st and 10 for the Eagles. Design roll for Cunningham. He's got room to move. He'll take it inside the 45 and take a hit at the 42-yard line. 7 yards on the carry for Randall Cunningham, the leading ground gainer for the Philadelphia Eagles. Cincinnati with another field goal, a 30-yarder and a 29-yarder now from Jim Breach. Miami by a 4 over Green Bay, down to Joe Robbie. Buffalo on the board first against the 1-5 New York Jets. Houston with the early lead down at the Astrodome. And Minnesota with a field goal as well for a lead as Kansas City tries to bounce back from their loss to the Raiders last week. Byers on the carry near the first down marker. I believe he got it. Just inside the 39-yard line of the Raiders. Jerry Robinson in on the stop for Los Angeles. And it is enough for another Eagle first down.
Even though Jerry Robinson has been around for 11 years, to give you an idea of the quality of player that he is and the speed that he still has maintained over 11 years, when they go into their dime or nickel package, bring in a defensive back, he's one of the guys that stays in there and he's in coverage.
First and 10 to the Eagles. Wise is back in there now on the defensive front as Tony just rambles his way inside the 35. Extra effort by Anthony Tony.
The continuous effort of Tony is just keeping his legs moving, even though he's running with his back to the defense. He just kept pushing people and picked up an extra 2 yards by keeping his legs moving.
8 carries now, 32 yards for Anthony Tony. Wise was in on last play. He's got a bruised right shoulder. As you can see, he's trying to get some movement out of it right now. They were tightened up quite easily, though. Damp and cool. Cunningham on the throw. Ron Johnson with his second catch of the year for a first down inside the 25 to the 23-yard line. Working to the quarterback, Lionel Washington.
He works on Washington. He beats him, but the thing that makes this play is the play-action pass by Cunningham, which freezes the linebackers. As soon as he does this play, you're going to see Washington will not have any help underneath. Here comes Johnson downfield, number 85. Washington is there. When he makes the turn, now look at underneath. You see there are no linebackers there to make any help. Finally, Lyndon King from the other side comes over to help out. It's too late.
Johnson stays in there along with Gardner. And what a pop in the backfield by Greg Townsend. They applied the hit on Keith Byers.
You know what that's called? That's called stunning into the hole that they're running the play in. I mean, nobody blocked Townsend. He just ran right into the ball carrier.
It's a loss back to the 24-yard line. Townsend at the outside linebacker position. In previous season for the Raiders, he has been a down lineman.
All right, here's Townsend sitting out here, but watch what happens. He's just going to rush right into the play. Nobody blocks him. Here comes the hole. Here comes Townsend. Tony missed him.
Second and 11. Cunningham under pressure. Tried to get it off to Tony. It's incomplete. Tom Benson coming up the linebacker. That may have been the reason why Tony dropped the ball, looking up at Benson.
I'll tell you what, that's a little brown ball coming out there. You know that? But that big number 54, Tom Benson, is all in white with black numbers, is coming right at your face. And I can guarantee you, Anthony Tony was not looking at the football.
Key third down coming up for the Eagles. This drive started all the way back at their own 22-yard line. And Greg Garrity, the wide receiver, is in for the first time today. Byers checks out on the 3rd and 11 situation. They go with 2 wide receivers to each side. The wingback is Anthony Tony. Jackson, the tight end, is one of the slot backs. Townsend showing the blitz up the middle, and here he comes. Cunningham with man-on-man coverage, throws it over the head of Johnson. They wanted a flag on Mike Haynes, and they won't get it.
Center field in that nickel package. He's lost a little bit of speed, Mike Haynes, but he is so smart. He knows where they're going to throw the ball. Perfect coverage. There it is. Haynes, it's on Johnson. He just never leaves him. Can't cover any better than that, friend.
Luis Zendejas in for a 42-yard field goal attempt. It's on its way. Plenty of distance. Does it have the direction? No. It's wide to the left side. It was out of the hole to the punter, Telchik. Zendejas misses, and it's still scoreless at Veterans Stadium. Luis Zendejas, after the miss, is now 8 of 13 in the field goal department. The interesting one on this ball, Telchik, the punter who was holding, knew that he missed before actually Zendejas was ready to admit it.
Well, Zendejas didn't have his glasses on.
That could be a problem if he's missing them for the remainder of the afternoon.
That's right. He'll have his eyes checked.
Fouls at the 24-yard line. The Raiders' 4th offensive series of the first half. 10:43 left in the second quarter. No score thus far. Bo Jackson is flanked out at the wide receiver position. Schrader looking deep. He's going for Willie Gault. And it's off the fingertips of Gault as Isaiah Jenkins got there at the same time as the ball.
You know, this is an amazing play. It really is, because Bo Jackson and Fernandez just went down about 8 or 10 yards and hooked up. And they left the whole middle of the field for Willie Gault, who had 3 people on him. Now look at what happens when Gault gets down at the end of the field. There's Jenkins is there. Hopkins is there. And Allen ends up there. The other 2 guys are man-to-man coverage. Look up here at the top. This is Bo Jackson. Watch where he goes. Fake. Let's set up. Single coverage.
2nd and 10 for the Raiders. Schrader now 1 of 8 for a total of 11 yards. Bo Jackson up the middle with his best game so far this afternoon to the 30-yard line. He gets 6 on the carry before he's put down by the middle linebacker Byron Evans with help from Clyde Simmons. Art Shell was telling us yesterday, the head coach of the Los Angeles Raiders, what he wanted to do more than anything else when he took over after the first 4 games of the year, when the Raiders had a 1-3 mark. He wanted to relax the team. He wanted to get them once again to have some fun while they played football. Because if they were a tight group, they weren't going to be a successful group.
They said they were playing scared. That's not the Raiders tradition.
Raiders looking at a 3rd and 4 at their own 30. They're 1 of 4 in 3rd down conversions. Alexander, the motion man. Inside give. Bo Jackson breaks the first tackle, has the first down across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Frizzell and Harris. In on the stop. Frizzell coming in, the extra defensive back.
All right, the problem is that Andre Waters, number 20, is a strong safety. He misses the tackle. He has Bo right here and misses it. Number 20 enables Bo Jackson to get the first down. Frizzell comes in and makes the play, but he already has it.
1st and 10 for the Raiders. Here they're on 36-yard line. Smith and Jackson, the tandem in the backfield. Goes the motion man. Schrader throws it away. It's almost picked off. It went out of the hands of Joyner, then almost scooped up by Isaiah Jenkins. He was looking for Mervin Fernandez. What a tough start it's been for Jay Schrader once again.
What I don't understand is that you're throwing to people that are covered by 3 people. All right, here comes Fernandez down here. Take a look at what happens here. Jenkins is there. They're all there. Now here comes Joyner. He almost makes the interception. But there are 3 people around the receivers. Bo Jackson had single coverage.
The decision-making process not very good so far for Jay Schrader. 2nd and 10. The ball still at the 36-yard line.
The tight end's got to be one-on-one coverage.
Set up the screen. Bo Jackson beats Harris. Evans gets to him, though, along with Wes Hopkins, the defensive back. It's a loss of a couple of yards, the 34-yard line.
Al Harris did everything a linebacker is supposed to do. He's supposed to cover Bo Jackson. He reads the screen extremely well. He moves in on the play and misses the tackle. Number 95, Al Harris. Watch what happens. Here he is there. He read it perfectly. Misses Bo. Well, a lot of people have missed Bo. But he gets some help from his friends. Evans is there. They make the tackle. Still not, I got, what, 3rd and 12.
Jeff Fisher, the defensive coordinator for the Eagles, told us yesterday he had some doubts about Al Harris playing linebacker because he had not been in that position since the 84 season with the Bears. But he's been pleasantly surprised. 3rd, close to 13. Into the flat, it's dropped by Mueller.
I'm going to tell you something. Reggie White is absolutely beside himself, and they're throwing a flag on Reggie, but Reggie was pulled to the ground, and he is mad because he knows what happened. Bruce Wilkerson, number 68, grabbed him, threw him on the ground. Reggie threw his helmet. Unsportsmanlike conduct is going to be called against Reggie. And I understand he told us yesterday in the locker room.
Exactly.
He said, I've got some new moves I'm going to put on people, and if these officials don't call holding against me, he said, I'm going to put one of them in their lap.
He said, I'll take care of the situation on my own if they don't start throwing some holding flags.
This man really does not complain. He is the best defensive end in all of pro football. And I'm telling you right now, on the right-hand side of this screen, watch 68 on 92. Not here, not here. Now, watch what happens. Now, your body doesn't turn that way. He was pulled to the ground by Wilkerson. He threw his helmet in disgust, but there's a reason for it. I like to see that holding one more time and just absolutely prove it to the people that this man is being held all the time.
The Minister of Defense, they call him at Veterans Stadium, a licensed Baptist minister, Reggie White. One of the most gentle guys you'll ever meet.
Yeah, we're going to put the camera on him again. He's not going to be gentle this time. I mean, he is mad. He is beside himself, and he was held.
That's the second penalty so far on the Philadelphia Eagles. It comes with 8:04 left in the first half. Still scoreless as Zendejas missed that 41-yard field goal attempt. Smith, Jackson to the backfield. Jackson running behind the double tight end set, and he is stopped for a gain of only 1.
That time, they ran at Reggie. Watch this. Wilkerson's on him again. Here. All right, this is where he was handled. This is the one I wanted to see again. Now watch him go down. Your body just doesn't go that way. Wilkerson throws him right into Schrader. I mean, he's held in. This is where, right afterwards, he throws his hat. The next play, they try to run at Reggie. I'm sorry. There's just no place to go.
Buffalo with a 10-point lead over the Jets in the second quarter. Green Bay's on the board at Miami. Houston has increased their advantage over Pittsburgh. And a touchdown run for Herschel Walker as the Vikings up by 13. 2nd and 9 with the ball from midfield stripe. Deep drop for Schrader. Pressure comes over the middle. Wide open. It's complete. He's got Ethan Horton, the tight end, down to the 30-yard line. Schrader just got rid of it in time.
What I said a couple of plays ago about Schrader, the tight end's got to be open. Ethan Horton is being covered one-on-one. Reggie is coming from the right side. Simmons is coming from the other side. But look at Ethan Horton. He's absolutely one-on-one coverage downfield. And that's Frizzell that doesn't get there. Now here comes Reggie again. To the inside. Wilkerson's on him. There's the move. Is he being held? I know he's being double-teamed.
Seems like he's double-teamed and triple-teamed every Sunday of the season. Fielder and Smith in the backfield. Fielder the motion man. 1st and 10 for the Raiders. Smith has it. And he's got a big gain inside the 25 down to the 23-yard line. A carry of 7. Brought down to the secondary by Izell Jenkins.
When you get a player that's as upset as Reggie is, and especially on running plays, this may be the time to go run at him. Now, the Raiders have tried it twice. That's Ethan Horton, number 88, blocking on Reggie White. And all he had to do was contain him. Then he had Mueller come in on the inside and seal him off. But there was a double block on Reggie White again. He'll be tired at the end of the day with at least two people hitting you every play.
The Raiders told us yesterday they want to try to wear down their opponents now. They want to go back to that power game. Smith gets it on 2nd and 3. He's short of the first down. Frizzell wrapping up the running back near the 21-yard line. A little altercation breaking out once again. Mosbar, the center, former USC Trojan, missing last week's game due to an injury, is back in there now.
Now we saw Bob Golick making some plays. Now his little brother, Michael, is in the game, number 90 for the Philadelphia Eagles. Little brother's bigger than he is, isn't he?
Taller, we know that. Bob may be a little bit wider. 3rd down, close to 2. Play action to Jay Schrader. He can run for the first down. He's got room inside the 20. Steps out of bounds near the 18-yard line for another Raider first down.
Schrader really does the smart thing when he comes out of this pocket. I mean, he had excellent protection, but when he comes out, he's going to come right at you. When he comes out of this pocket, he just sees everybody dropping off, and that's Seth Joyner, 59. When he pulls off of the line of scrimmage, Schrader runs for the first down. Evans finally comes in, but the damage is already done. Smart play.
Archell with a 2-0 record so far as the Raiders head coach. The best penetration by the Raider offense so far this afternoon. 1st and 10 at the Eagles' 18-yard line. Long count by Schrader. He's got time. Going for Fernandez and poked away. Perfect timing in the play by Eric Allen.
Was that super defense? Eric Allen just at the last second just threw his hand in there and knocked the ball away. Fernandez, tremendous receiver for the Raiders. But Allen right there. This is one of the worst pass defenses in football, you know that? The Eagles.
Very inconsistent. They do have a lot of interceptions, though. They are second in the NFL.
Yeah.
In interceptions. It's a very gambling defensive unit for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Well, one of the reasons why they're so good on defense, it offsets that whole thing, is the front seven, the 4 down linemen and the 3 linebackers.
Smith and Mueller in the backfield on 2nd and 10. Pocket holds up again for Schrader. Thrown way off target. He wanted Mervin Fernandez, and Schrader can't complain about the protection on that play.
And Philadelphia can't complain about Eric Allen either, because super coverage again.
Jay Schrader is now 3 of 13 for a total of 28 yards. He was only 5 of 16 last week for 87 yards before he was lifted from the game for backup quarterback Steve Beuerlein.
But at least 3 of those, he threw the ball legitimately. Joel threw the ball away.
3rd and 10 now for the Raiders. Ball to the 19-yard line. Raiders go with 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side. Schrader out of the shotgun for one of the few times so far. Quarterback draw. Schrader to the 15. Lunges for the first down inside the 10. Near the 7-yard line. That looked like quarterback draw all the way.
And we have a flag on the play, too, I think. But, the thing about it is it's on the top side now. It's against motion. It's going to be motion against the Raiders. Bring it back. But Schrader that time running with the ball. They're allowed to go down. And once they go down, Joel, you can't hit them. And you see the tentativeness of the defense a lot of times when they'll just stop on a quarterback because they don't want to get a penalty. Mike is not working. I think it's number 60. Offense, movement.
That would be the left tackle, Rory Graves.
All right, let's just... Well, it is. It's on the left-hand side because that's where the flag was thrown.
Right guard lifted up a little bit early as well. That's Steve Wisniewski, the rookie from Penn State, the Raiders' second-round draft choice. So instead of a 1st and 10, what a costly penalty. 1st and 10 down at the 7th. It's now 3rd and 15 for the Raiders. Back at the 24-yard line of the Eagles. Trips to the far side for Jay Schrader. They bring in Mike Alexander. Pressure comes. Schrader over the middle, wide open. It's complete just outside of the 10. Alexander on the reception. He's short of the first down by a couple of yards, though.
They had a triple formation, as you called, but the defense of Philadelphia didn't shift that way. Alexander, number 89, is going to come underneath. Watch, there's no one there. They run a blitz on the outside. There's no one there to cover Alexander. And look who's standing down in the end zone all by himself is Willie Gault. Schrader didn't see him. All he had to do was lob him the ball.
It'll be a field goal try coming up for Jeff Jaeger in his 2nd year out of Washington. He is 7 of 10 so far this season. It'll be a 29-yard attempt out of the hold of the punter Gossett. He drills it, but he misses it wide to the right side. He pushed it off to the right side. So both Zendejas and Jaeger missing their first tries of the first half. There's 3 minutes and 21 seconds left in the first 30 minutes, and it's still scoreless.
Wide open in the end zone, and Philadelphia got away with one. See this guy right here? Watch what happens when he goes down here, because nobody covers him. Here goes Gault. He goes into the end zone right there. There's not a soul around him.
Missed field goal by Jaeger. 1st and 10 for the Eagles, their own 20. Cunningham looking for the screen that never developed. He'll ad-lib and run himself. Going for the first down marker. He comes up just across the 30, and he gets that 1st and 10 to the 31-yard line.
You want to know how he got that first down? Because Mike Harden, the strong safety, slowed down.
3rd field goal for Jim Breach. Gives the Bengals a 9-0 lead. Everything's still the same in Miami and Buffalo. Minnesota, another touchdown run from Herschel Walker. Up by 13 at Detroit. Kansas City just got a 97-yard kickoff return for a touchdown by James Dixon to regain the lead over Dallas.
Weren't there some guys that said that Herschel Walker trade was a bad trade for Minnesota? Excuse me.
1st and 10 for the Eagles. Cunningham for his tight end Jackson, his favorite target. Across the 35 to the 36-yard line.
You know who was covering him? Bob Golick. Bob Golick, the nose tackle, was covering Keith Jackson. I'd love to know what this defense was.
I don't think they'd call that the Pirate 50.
I don't either. But he ended up, Golic. Here's Bob Golic right here, folks. This is number 75, the nose tackle. And watch where he ends up. Look at here. He's got Keith Jackson.
That's your new speed defense.
I love that. Go get him, Golic.
Chris Carter in motion. On 2nd and 5 from the 36, Cunningham in trouble. Sidesteps the issue. Now finds room. And slides down short of the first down marker at the 40-yard line. Golic in on the stop once again.
Does he look like he's moonwalking? Cunningham, he is so graceful when he comes out of there, and he just slides and makes you miss him every time. It's the most amazing thing, and it's got to be frustrating for defensive people watching. Watch the moonwalker, folks. Go ahead, Randall.
He makes it look so easy. Randall Cunningham on the scramble. We'll be right back to Philadelphia. Justice and O.J. Simpson in New York for scores and highlights. We'll also look at Bill Walsh's 49er years, a feature on the former San Francisco head coach and the innovative mind of the San Francisco head coach for many seasons. Took them to the Super Bowls, and he's back there at Stanford Stadium today, right here on NBC for the second half of our doubleheader. The Patriots taking on the 49ers. 3rd and 1 situation. Cunningham with flags into the air dives ahead. Was there movement on the line, though?
If there's movement in the line, the play goes over again anyway. It stops.
Did the Raiders line up offside?
Now, that was called from behind, I think. So
False start. Offense. Right guard. 5 yard. Still third down.
Ron Solt, 5th year from Maryland. He came over to the Eagles last year from the Colts for 1st and 4th round draft choices. And Randall Cunningham ever heaped the praise on him yesterday to me when we were talking in the locker room. He loves the protection he gets from Ron Solt. Slow start for Cunningham once again today, though. Only 4 of 8 in the passing department for 30 yards. He's got almost as many yards running as passing. 29 yards on the ground on 4 carries.
And that's a mental error by Solt. I mean, you got 3rd and a half a yard with Cunningham carrying the ball. He would have picked up the first down, and you're early off the ball.
3rd and 6 now. Mike Gaines in at the corner as McDaniel has suffered an injury. Cunningham out of the shotgun. He's got room to roam. He's got the first down and then some. Up across the midfield stripe into Raider territory. He ever tough to defend.
Well, you got to get into what they call his running lanes, not his passing lanes, getting his running lanes. Keith Jackson comes back to help out, but really doesn't have to. Just his presence is there. Watch this. Long goes to the outside. Solt takes him. Now, you see Keith Jackson, 88. He comes back, and all he has to do is just cut off the defensive man, Mike Wise. Cunningham picks up the first down.
It's exactly what Jerry Robinson said yesterday. The most frustrating aspect of working against Randall Cunningham, you do everything right, and he still runs for the first down. You do everything right in the coverage. He fires it for Jackson. It's complete on the 1st and 10 reception to the 40-yard line.
Eagles have 3 timeouts, so they've got plenty of time. There's can't see that clock very good. 1:18 to go in the second period, so they have plenty of time to get plenty of plays off. They just cannot make another mental error like they made with Solt just a little while ago.
They're looking at a 2nd and 3 now. The Raiders' 40-yard line.
How about a reverse? Now, I hate that play in this position. This can take you out of field goal range if it doesn't work. But if it works,
Byers goes into a wingback position. So they've got trips to the far side of the field for Randall Cunningham out of the shotgun. For Byers, and he can't hang on to it. Against Tom Benson, the linebacker. Byers comes in today as the leading pass receiver for the Eagles with 26 receptions. The 24 for Keith Jackson. Jackson with a couple already today.
The one thing that the coaches, when they were talking, especially Scoble yesterday, talking to us about Randall Cunningham, is the fact that he has learned this year to take a little bit off, Joel. When he has to lay it in there, he can fire it in there. When he has to just dump it a little bit, he's got the touch now.
3rd and 3 situation. Plenty of time for the Eagles with all those timeouts. 1:15 left on the clock. Cunningham on the timing play for Chris Carter on single coverage, and he can't hang on to it against Mike Gaines. Almost a perfect pass by Randall Cunningham, but they've got to give the ball up now as they fail to convert on 3rd down. Breach with 3 field goals. And a 9-0 lead for the Bengals, the leaders in the AFC Central. You'll see all the scores and highlights with Bob Costas and O.J. Simpson. At the half, Warren Moon with a 51-yard touchdown pass to Curtis Duncan. That's why the Oilers are up by 17 now on the Steelers. Steelers, a team on the move up until this Sunday as they had taken 3 out of their last 4. Telchik in to punt it away for the Eagles. Bobby Joe Edmonds waiting back at the Raider 10-yard line. Great hang time. Telchik as Edmonds gets out of the way. He takes an Eagle roll inside the 10. It'll be put down near the 4-yard line. Great kick. Telchik getting the job done with the outstanding hang time. A 37-yard punt.
John's just going to try and guide it now. All right, John, here it comes. Now we'll move it in, move it in, move it in. A little bit closer, a little bit closer. Okay, now lay on the ball. That's it.
We'll join Bob Costas and O.J. Simpson. NFL Live in New York for all the scores and highlights and a feature on Bill Walsh, one of the most creative and innovative coaches during his days in the NFL. It's scoreless so far as we welcome you back to Veterans Stadium. Joel Myers along with Paul McGuire. 56 seconds left in the first half, and the Raiders started their own 4. They still have 3 timeouts remaining. Bo Jackson working out of the eye behind Steve Smith. Bo near the 10. For a gain of 6 on the carry. And the Raiders quickly call a timeout. Or will it be Philadelphia calling a timeout? It's the Eagles calling the timeout. We'll be right back to the vet. The Eagles play defense and gamble and especially take chances up front. They leave man-on-man coverage on the wideouts. And when you've got Willie Gault, the Eagle coaches were telling us yesterday they consider Willie Gault the fastest wide receiver in the NFL.
But he hadn't caught a pass in, 2 games? So the only problem is that they're only putting 1 wide receiver out, and that's Gault. They're going with 2 tight ends in this situation with only 1 wide receiver, and they have a short man and a long man on him. And the other 9 guys are on Bo.
Raiders aren't taking any chances. Down to their own 10-yard line. Let's see if they put it up in the air.
See, you have Gault. He's the only guy on the outside with 2 tight ends.
Double tight end set. Jackson and Smith in the backfield. Jackson, the motion man. Does he put it up top? No. Smith, that is way short of the first down. Eagles call a timeout. They stop the clock with 39 seconds left in the first half, and they are now out of timeouts.
See, all the Raiders wanted to do was get 1 first down, run this clock out. I believe they do get the ball in the second half, so don't take any chance with anything down here. But they didn't get a first down, and we looked in the first quarter where Telchik had a problem punting. This wind looks like it's coming from left to right, but actually it's not. It's across the field, and Jeff Gossett is going to have to keep this ball low to get any distance at all on it.
Last time we were here was the opening Sunday of the season, Paul, and we saw the Eagles special teams come up with a big play against the Seattle Seahawks, blocking a punt.
That's right. Do you think there's any... What'd you say about Gizmo? Buddy Ryan said if he drops it, leave?
He's gone.
Just leave the uniform and keep going out the tunnel.
Put a vote of confidence. Gizmo Williams back at the 45 of the Raiders. Gossett punting for about 3 to 4 yards into his end zone. They almost get to him, and they almost rough it. Yes, they do. They rough the punter. Flag is down as Gizmo calls for the fair catch, but the ball will belong to the Raiders. And it was a 4th and 3 situation.
I think it was Andre Waters, number 20, that ran into him. And that, if it's just running in, it's a 5-yard penalty. Yeah.
A 5-yard penalty.
First down, though. Because they only needed 4 or 3. And they got 5, and now the Raiders will sit on the ball. Here they come. Is it 20 Waters? No, it wasn't 20 Waters, was it? Brett Hager.
Al Davis, the owner of one of the most successful franchises in all of pro sports, the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And he told us yesterday at practice he feels that they are only about 2 or 3 players away from becoming once again a dominant team.
And, you know, you've got to believe him because he said this is the biggest Raider football team they've ever had. We're talking about height now. And you look down that line, and you're going to see him 6'6", 6'7". Raiders going after it.
He'll throw, and he'll go up top looking for Willie Gault. Underthrown by a good margin. Good coverage by Izell Jenkins. Just not enough on it from Jay Schroeder. Schroeder stepped up and looked like he was trying to throw it as far as he could.
Well, in order to hit Willie Gault in full stride, he has to be rocket man. Take a look at Gault. I mean, Gault's coming down the field. Izell Jenkins is trying to run with him. Watch Gault go by Izell. Izell is in top speed now, and Willie's already by him. Now he has to come back, and the ball is underthrown by about 7 yards. You'd have to have a bazooka to get it to Willie Gault.
Is that all?
That's it, in full stride.
2nd and 10, the ball at the 16-yard line. Schroeder will put a knee down, and that'll be the final play of the first half. A little scrum around the 15-yard line. So the Raiders came in and they wanted to emphasize defense at the ground game. Well, their defensive unit has done an exceptional job in the first half against one of the better offensive teams in the NFL, the Philadelphia Eagles.
And Reggie's going over and talking to the officials, and he wants them to understand that in the second half, I'm going to dump one of these guys in your lap if you don't start calling holding.
Reggie White and Seth Joyner visibly upset as they head to the Eagles locker room. The Raiders, they were scoreless at halftime of Art Shell's first game at the Meadowlands against the New York Jets. I think he's pretty satisfied with a scoreless tie right now.
They are satisfied with a scoreless tie, and this is a much better football team than the New York Jet football team, I can tell you that.
Something has to happen, though, at the quarterback position for the Raiders.
Well, the Raiders are going to get
He needs a holder in the kickoff, and that's William Frizzell. It's squibbed, flags down on the play. The Raiders making the recovery outside of their own 35-yard line. What a way to start the second half.
Philadelphia was offside, but I think the Raiders will refuse it because they're going to have the ball about the 36 or 37-yard line.
Numbers in the first 30 minutes of play. Not much offense for either side. Rushing yardage, most of that going to Randall Cunningham for the Philadelphia Eagles.
And the reason the game is so close, take a look. Your first downs are the same, okay? But the turnover situation, Joel, no turnovers in this game. That's a credit to both offenses and the defense, especially when you're playing against the Philadelphia Eagles, who have gotten the ball, taken it away 24 times going into this game.
The Eagles had 6 turnovers they picked up from the Phoenix Cardinals last week. And one of the most surprising aspects of the first half, Paul, no sacks in the first half of the Eagles. They came in with 26, the second highest total in the NFL.
And you give credit to the offensive line of the Raiders. They are doing a tremendous job. A little bit of holding.
Jackson in the backfield, just a little. Steve Smith joining Bo back there. 1st and 10 at the 37 of Los Angeles. Short drop for Schroeder, quick out, overthrows Fernandez. So the first half for Schroeder, or rather the second half, starts out the same way the second half ended.
Well, right off the bat, they're going to start. There's Wilkerson, number 68. They're going to double team Reggie White. Take a look at it. And when you talk about double teaming, you're not double teaming with a back and a lineman. You're double teaming with 2 linemen. Wisniewski, number 76, and Bruce Wilkerson, number 68. 2 linemen blocking 1 defensive lineman. Somebody's got to be free if they start blitzing.
Eagles on the 2nd and 10 situation, putting more men up on the defensive line of scrimmage. Ball at the 37. Bo Jackson trying the right side. Tripped up across the 40. Going down near the 42-yard line for a gain of close to 5.
And it's not surprising because Reggie is such a strong pass rusher. Reggie White is what I'm talking about. They're going to try to run right at him. Just take a look at the double team. Wilkerson and Dial are both there blocking, but Reggie just strings it out and waits for his friends to come in and make the play, and Reggie helps out. Double team still makes the play. Is he good or what?
He is the very best. He's led the NFL in sacks in each of the last 2 seasons. He had 18 last year. Movement by Jerome Brown gets back in time. Raiders 3 of 8 in third down conversions. This is a 3rd and 5 at the 42. Schroeder wide open, Mueller over the middle for a first down at the Eagles' 44-yard line. Joyner and Evans, the 2 linebackers, combining on the hit.
This is what's surprising about Schrader's numbers, are the fact that he has enough time to throw the football. That time he waited till Mueller, the back, gets out of the backfield. And just take a look at what the offensive line does. Pitts is being blocked by Mosbar, the center, number 72. And that opens it up. The linebackers, that's Evans and Joyner, covering Mueller. But Schrader had all the time he wanted to throw the football.
Only 56 yards passing for Jay Schroeder. And and the Raiders. They only had 89 yards passing for both Beuerlein and Schrader last Sunday. Bo Jackson with the carry. Nifty move inside the 40. Near a first down. He's short of the first down marker by a couple at the 37 after a gain of 8. Hopkins holding on along with Seth Joyner.
Now we'll see Bo Jackson. He's coming at you here, but watch the move that he makes to get back to the inside. There's nothing outside. He can't make that move outside because Simmons is there. He just cuts it back to the inside and picks up 8 yards on the play.
He had 85 yards on 11 carries last week against the Chiefs. 37 so far this afternoon. Second and a couple.
But most of it was in the second half.
Steve Smith tries for the first down, and he's got it. Inside the 35. They push him down near the 34-yard line. Indianapolis finally gets on the board in the second half, trailing by 6. Buffalo by 13 at home after that very emotional Monday night victory over the Los Angeles Rams. Houston, another touchdown pass from Warren Moon to Alonzo Highsmith. They lead by 24. Kansas City up by 10 now for the winless Dallas Cowboys. Tampa Bay hanging tough. What an improved team, the Buccaneers. Well, they spotted the ball near the 35. I thought he would be close to the 34, and they're going to be short of the first down by about 6 inches. Don't forget, on many of these NBC stations, second half of our NFL doubleheader, you'll either see the Patriots at Stanford Stadium taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Denver matching up at the Kingdome with the Seahawks.
This is a short yardage play here, Joe, but, you know, as big as that offensive line is for the Raiders and in this drive, I know you don't want to waste it, but this would be a great play action down.
3rd and inches. Double tight end set. They got 3 tight ends in there now. Jackson in the backfield, along with Steve Smith, who gets it. And he's got the first down to the 34-yard line. A Raiders first down. It was 50 years ago today, the first televised pro football game from Ebbets Field in Brooklyn. It was the Brooklyn Dodgers taking on the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Dodgers won it by the score of 23-14. Ebbets Field.
He's got my old helmet on. None.
Doesn't look exactly like Ebbets. Veteran Stadium in Philadelphia.
Stick out without a helmet? There's been some guys that I know that play without helmets.
1st and 10 for the Raiders. The 34-yard line of the Eagles. This drive started back at the Raiders' 37. Schrader with plenty of time again to a wide-open Mervin Fernandez. He's got a first down and then some. Inside the 20, down to the 15-yard line. Blown assignment in the secondary.
Well, the question is, who blew the assignment? Was it Allen or was it Hopkins? Because I know that a linebacker is not supposed to cover a wide receiver, especially Fernandez, but they are talking to Al Harris, number 95. When you look out here to the right of your screen, you're going to see all alone is Fernandez. Nobody's on him. The closest man to him is number 21, Eric Allen.
Outstanding start to the second half of the Raiders offense. It's scoreless at Veterans Stadium with 11 minutes and 20 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Jackson and Smith shifting into the eye. Bo gets it, and Bo goes nowhere. Flags down to the play.
That got to be holding.
It almost looked like Schrader wanted to pitch the ball when he started to hand the ball off to Jackson.
Well, he turned around before the play started and had to move Bo back into the I formation because Bo was lined up wrong.
Offense, number 68, 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down, first down.
Was he holding Reggie?
Bruce Wilkerson, the right tackle in his 3rd year from Tennessee. He's the one called for the hold to mark up 10 yards back to the 25-yard line. Brings up 1st and 20. Jackson's out. Vance Mueller comes in. They have not gone to the tight end dial all that often. They found Horton earlier in the game, the other tight end. Pressure comes. Mueller out in the flat. It's overthrown.
Well, there was heat on Schrader, but that time he just threw the ball away because Vance Mueller was open, swinging down the sideline, but the ball looked like it just took off on him when he threw the ball.
Only 73 yards so far, and Reggie White double teamed again.
All right, this time it was over Mosbar, but he gets by him, and Giesick, number 63, is holding on to him again, and Reggie's just looking for somebody. I mean, no sense in talking to the official because they're not listening, so now he's just talking to the field. Maybe we get some answer from the stripes.
2nd and 20. They double up Galt and Fernandez to the same side. Strader again with ample time. Now the pocket collapses, and the Eagles get their first sack of the day. It goes to Mike Pitts. Reggie White also in there.
I'm going to tell you what, Reggie White, I'm sorry, folks, we got to keep showing this thing, but eventually they're going to call it because Reggie White is held. There's no question about it. By the time he got rid of everybody that was holding him, he had to fight those guys off. Then he gets in there with Pitts and makes the play. Reggie White, number 92. Watch this. Now tell me he's not being held here. Look at this. He's turned completely around, finally gets away, and then Pitts and White make the tackle.
He was working up against the rookie right guard, Steve Wisniewski, out of Penn State.
Now you know what he was talking about yesterday. They're holding him on every play, and they really are.
Loss of 7 on the sack. Brings up a 3rd and 27, movement on the left side of the line. Another penalty to the Raiders. Rory Graves, John Giesick, both lifting up.
You know, Joel, this drive started at the 15.
False start. Offense, number 76. 5-yard penalty.
Raiders are moving themselves now right out of field goal position.
They certainly are. Their drive didn't start at the 15. The drive started back upfield, but at the actually at the 37-yard line, their own. But the last first down they had was at the 15-yard line, and now they're back at the 37.
So now it's 3rd and forever. 3rd and 32. Outside of the 37-yard line. Buddy Ryan has told us before, his defense sets the tempo for the entire team. They play off the emotions of the defense for the most part. Schrader on the deep drop. Pressure comes. Nobody there as he was hit by Jerome Brown when he was releasing the ball.
Boy, you know, when you get a team in a situation, Joel, where it's 3rd down and 32 yards to go, especially this defensive line, they just had no run responsibility whatsoever, and they took the Los Angeles Raiders out of field goal position from the 15-yard line because it would be a 55-yard field goal if they tried it. Now they have to punt.
So the Raiders, after holding on to the ball almost 5.5 minutes, come up without a point. Gossett into punted away to Henry Gizmo Williams. The wobbler is going to hit around the 5 and goes into the end zone. It'll be a touchback. So the Raiders waste one of their worst, or one of their best drives of the day, and the penalties really killed them. A 37-yard punt. When we come back, the Eagles will have it for the first time in the second half. Eagles defense is getting the sold-out crowd back into the game at Veterans Stadium this week. Welcome you back to Philadelphia. I'm Joel Myers along with Paul McGuire. It's scoreless with 9.5 minutes left in the 3rd. Cunningham on the pitch to Byers. Byers pays for those 2 yards he just picked up close to 3. Mike Wise delivering the blow for the Los Angeles Raiders. Randall Cunningham in the first half. Only 5 of 11 for 37 yards. Very similar to what happened last Sunday.
All right, we're looking at Howie Long now. He's starting this game, and Howie has had some problems with his leg, but this time he does the job he's supposed to do. He cuts it back to the inside, makes Ron Heller to tackle. He holds him up, and his job is done as long as that runner has to go inside of him and he gets help from the linebackers.
Tony can't get away from Greg Townsend. The loss is back to the 19 near the 20-yard line. A loss of 3. It'll bring up 3rd and 10. Miami leading by 4 at home over the improving Green Bay Packers. Buffalo still throwing a shutout of the New York Jets. Houston pulling away in the first half from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Another touchdown today for Herschel Walker. And now Washington gets the score to go up by a dozen on Tampa Bay. So Mark Rippon threw a 10-yard touchdown pass to Gary Clark. Eagles 2 of 7 in the first half and 3rd down conversions. 3rd and 10. Cunningham has room again across the 25. Near the first down. I believe he's got it. Just across the 30. When in doubt, let Randall take care of it.
Well, Randall will make some things happen by running the ball. And when he's running the ball, he also knows where the yard marker is, and you can see him now. Take a look at Howie Long now. He's going to get himself caught in the inside. Gets double teamed there. But watch what Cunningham does when he runs. He goes right now. He looks and sees the marker and knows that I have to pick up 3 more yards to get the first down. Bang, and he gets it.
Cunningham has almost twice as many yards on the ground today as throwing the ball. 6 carries for a total of 57 yards now. Dumped off. Keith Byers has it across the 35 on 1st and 10. Pickup of almost 9 yards to the 39. Put down by Jerry Robinson. So when we came over today, we thought the Raiders were going to go to the short passing game because of the pressure of the Philadelphia Eagles defensive front. But so far over the first half and the first 5-6 minutes of the third quarter, it's been the Eagles that have been going to their backs in the flat.
Well, you know, of all the passes that Cunningham's completed, he's only completed 1 to a wide receiver, and that's Ron Johnson. Just 1. Everything else has been to the backs or the tight end.
2nd and short. Cunningham again on the little one to Keith Byers for a first down near the 45-yard line.
When you talk about the maturity of Randall Cunningham, you look at how patient he is. Now, he runs for a first down on a 3rd down situation. He looks and sees where the yard marker is. This time, he's very patient. He takes 2, 5-yard patterns, picks up another first down. This is what you call a maturing quarterback. He will be patient with his offense.
Diggs is in there. First carry of the day. Is he ever hit? Loose ball. Cunningham dives. He's got it. Randall Cunningham with the recovery. So alert, although the Raiders say they have it now.
That was Benson that hit Tony.
That was Mark Higgs on his first carry as he just came in.
Oh, excuse me, Higgs. But it was Benson, I believe. 154. Oh, was that awesome.
Recovered by Cunningham.
There it comes. Watch this. You're right, it is Higgs, and there comes Benson. Goodness.
That even hurt on the replay.
Oh, yeah. Cunningham's right there. They only lost 2 yards on the play.
Higgs needs a break after that. The shot delivered by Tom Benson. Fires back in there. Cunningham in trouble. Townsend can't get him. Golick misses. Cunningham still on the move. And overthrows Tony. Is he ever amazing?
He is amazing. It's really frustrating. And you'll notice one thing about with officials when Cunningham is in a ball game. The in the grasp rule is almost like it's forgotten. We don't use that anymore because you don't have him in the grasp unless he's on the ground. Cunningham gets away from Townsend, gets away from Golick, and I know it's got to make these guys talk to themselves. That's what's so frustrating. You have a shot at him, but yet you can't bring him down. There it comes right now. Townsend's the first guy. The move to the outside. Watch his shirt comes down. Here's his shoulder pad sticking out. Now here comes Golick. I've got him. No, I don't have him. I put that big arm around him. Howie Long hesitated for a second, and Cunningham gets the ball away.
3rd and 12. Eagles have it at their own 43. Cunningham working out of the shotgun. Has time. It's batted down. He wanted to go up the middle to Ron Johnson. Knocked down just beyond the line of scrimmage. The Raiders defense starting off just like we saw their defense in the first half, doing a good job of putting pressure on the quarterback and also stopping the running attack.
You know, it almost looked like the ball hit Ron Heller in the back, the big right tackle, because none of the guys took credit for it on the Raiders side of the ball.
Telchik in to punt once again. Bobby Joe Edmonds. A couple of years ago, he led the NFL in punt returns. He's back at the Raiders' 16-yard line. Telchik really turns over a beauty. It'll be Edmonds from the 10. Dancing his way across the 20. Outstanding return by Bobby Joe Edmonds. 14 yards to the 24-yard line after a 47-yard punt by John Telchik. We'll be right back to Veterans Stadium. It's still scoreless with 5:52 left in the third.
I thought he hit his own man, Ron Heller. Look at here. Here's Mike Wise, number 90. The guy's going to knock the ball down. But what happened, actually, he knocks it down. Well, look at how just above the head of Heller. He hit Heller in the head. Good
First
play.
and 10 for the Raiders now outside of their own 24-yard line. Jackson, the eyes, they shift out with Steve Smith in the backfield. Bo Jackson on the pitch. No support on the play. And he loses a yard back at the 22. Andre Waters, the strong safety, coming up quickly on the run support. Oh, that last pass play reminds me of what Jerry Robinson told me yesterday in talking to the Eagles linebacker. I asked him about the arch that Randall Cunningham puts on his passes, because that was a flat one from Cunningham. He said, you know that arch in St. Louis? That's got nothing on the arch that Cunningham puts on his passes. Not the last one, though. Jackson, 12 carries, only 34 yards.
I still like his line about when Cunningham's dangerous. That's the best I've ever heard.
Only when his heart's beating and he's breathing. Second and a dozen. They're moving the pocket for Schrader. Buy some time. Over the middle, Dials got it for a first down. They say he was down across the 35. It's a first down at the 36-yard line.
Schrader, this is just a straight run out of here. Now watch, he'll come out and he bails out to his right. And Pitts is being knocked down. He's double teamed. This just heads up play, because the fine Dial there and downfield was Al Harris. Now, we talk about Reggie being held. Is he held here? How about this?
Not at all.
No? Well, that's kind of a step over toe hold deal by Wisniewski. He's learning.
Taking lessons from the WWF.
The rookie is learning. I like that. It's a good play if you don't get caught.
First and 10 for the Raiders. Their own 36-yard line. Schrader in trouble. Here comes Joyner. He's got him for the sack. Second sack of the afternoon. The second in the second half for the Philadelphia Eagles.
You know, you see Joyner, him making that sack, but there was one-on-one coverage all the way downfield. And you have Fernandez and Galt going downfield along with Dial, a tight end. There are only 3 people back covering, and this is where you start gambling on defense. And when you have 3 people covering like that, you're sending 8.
The loss is back to the 31, bringing up a second and 15. They still don't bring in that extra wide receiver, though. They stay with Fernandez and Galt. Pressure again. He goes up for Jackson. It's intercepted by Jenkins. Flags down. It's taken to the 30. Down inside the 30 to the 24-yard line. Flags down, though, in the offensive backfield.
I got to believe that they're holding. Clyde Simmons is really upset because, I mean, they're just grabbing him all over the place. And this time it was Wilkerson again. Now, it's going to hold up. You see Big Clyde walking off. I mean, they're holding everybody. They're pulling their jerseys out of socket here.
Bo Jackson was the intended target on that pass.
All right, now let's just take a look up on the top side. Now that's Jenkins, and he's up there with Willie Galt. Now, is that holding? Is that little contact beyond 5 yards? We got plays all over the place. Jenkins makes the play, but Clyde Simmons is the guy that eventually gets held. And that's what that was called. That call was made. That's reversed.
Jimmy Giles is the tight end in there for the Eagles now. Keith Jackson out with a sprained ankle. Play action for Cunningham. Going up top, it's complete. Down to Ron Johnson at the 11-yard line. Eddie Anderson into the stop. It's all tied up now at Cincinnati. The Bengals are trying to bounce back from a 7-point loss to the Dolphins last week. The Oilers and Vikings in control of their 2 games. And Washington still maintaining that 12-point lead.
Here comes Johnson. He's the only wide receiver with a catch. This becomes his second one. He makes his catch here, then draws a crowd.
The running play. Tony won't give up inside the 5. Here's near another first down. Perseverance by Anthony Tony.
The 2 defenses on the field today have played so well and really contained all the people that they've had to contain. Cunningham, Bo Jackson, then all of a sudden a turnover. And that one turnover going into this game, remember, Philadelphia led the league with 24 turnovers. Another turnover here. They're looking for first down. It is first down.
They've got it by the nose of the football.
Eventually, something has to break.
Art Shell, 2-0 as the Raiders head coach after victories over the New York Jets on Monday night and last Sunday at the Coliseum, defeating the Kansas City Chiefs 20-14. 3 tight ends in there now. The goal line situation is they have taped the ankle of Keith Jackson. He's back in there along with Jimmy Giles and David Little. Tony will get it. He's not short of the goal line inside the 1. 11th carry of the day for Anthony Tony. A total of 40 yards.
Just go straight ahead and do it again. You pick up a yard on this deal right here. Tony's going in. Byers, you see him when the 41 gets knocked off. Heller does not get a block. The defense is all bunched up in the middle. But you did pick up a yard. Now you have a yard to go. You have 3 downs to do it in. Don't try anything fancy.
Same formation for the Eagles. Byers, Tony in the backfield. 2nd and goal at the 1. Cunningham over the top. Touchdown Eagles.
Nothing fancy.
Eliminating the element of risk. In a bad exchange on a handoff, Cunningham will take care of it himself. That's his 7th carry of the day.
And he is their number 1 rusher. Why not?
He's got 58 yards. Now a touchdown run as well. Zendejas in for the point after try to the hold of John Telchik. It's perfect. And there's our first score of the day as the Eagles capitalize on that turnover, the interception by Isel Jenkins. 1:56 left in the 3rd, and the Eagles get their first touchdown. Philadelphia Joel Myers along with Paul McGuire, a 1-yard touchdown run by that young man out of UNLV, Randall Cunningham, giving the Eagles the first score of the afternoon as they took it from the 24 of the Raiders.
What a pleasant person he is, isn't he? Randall Cunningham. I mean, he really is a genuinely nice guy. Quiet. Not out here, he's not quiet.
He's a leader. Zendejas, a high end-over-ender, a very short one, taken at the 12 by Bobby Joe Edmonds. Edmonds finding a lane that closes in a hurry with a flag down to the play across the 25 to the 27. Jesse Small. One of the draft choices, and one of the 4 draft choices for the Philadelphia Eagles. They have the fewest total of draft picks in the NFL this year. The Raiders were 2nd in that category with only 5.
Number 87.
Ty Eller, number 58, is coming off limping. They're helping him off the field.
We'd like to remind you, many of you on NBC will see the second half of our doubleheader, a homecoming of sorts for Bill Walsh, along with Dick Enberg. The 49ers will be taking on the New England Patriots at Stanford Stadium. Of course, Bill, the head coach of the 49ers for so many years, but before that, the head coach of the Stanford Cardinal. And then some of you will see Denver and Seattle at the Kingdome, the second half of our NFL doubleheader. Smith and Jackson, the eye in the backfield on 1st and 10 for the Raiders after the holding call. Takes it back to the 18-yard line. Jackson, best run so far, across the 30, head over heels near the 35 to the 36 for a first down.
There's some excellent blocking on the right side. You're talking about Wisniewski, Wilkerson, and they're blocking. When he goes, take a look left of your screen, just that little bit of a hole. When he sees that little hole, Clyde Simmons, 96, gets knocked to the outside. The blocking is perfect. Bo picks up, 15, 16 yards?
16 yards exactly for a Raider first down. 50 yards so far for Bo Jackson after gaining 85 last week. Do you think they miss Marcus Allen just a little bit? And what about Timmy Brown?
Marcus say wouldn't play in the same backfield with him at the same time? I think he would.
Steve Berline in there at quarterback now for the Raiders. Jackson again with flags on the play. Dead ball penalty coming up.
Offense.
Berline relieved in the latter stages of the 3rd quarter last week, but he was only 1 of 5 in the passing department for 15 yards as he's hit almost 60% so far this season.
Offense, right guard, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
That's Steve Wisniewski, the rookie from Penn State.
There's Jay Schroeder. You know, the Raiders have always done this. They won't hesitate in making a change, and it doesn't make any difference where it is on the field, whether it's quarterback or not. They'll just go just to get something else happening in the ball game.
And when Art Shell was asked about the move last week when he went to Steve Berline, he goes, I'll make it when I get the feel for it, when I think we need a change, when we need a boost. Beuerlein on 1st and 15 to Fernandez. He's out of bounds across the 35. 37-yard line. Forced out there by outside linebacker Seth Joyner. There is a flag down to the opposite side of the field, though, as Andre Waters, the strong safety, is talking to one of the officials. The illegal use of hands call against Philadelphia. Was it Waters?
I love this. I mean, the guy makes the call, right? And all he's got to do is tell it to the referee. Say illegal use of hands.
Illegal use of the hands. Defense, number 46, 5 yards.
See how easy that was? But it takes like almost a minute.
It's called on Izell Jenkins. Penalties very similar. 6 for the Raiders, 5 for the Eagles. But that's a costly one because it's an automatic first down for Los Angeles. 1st and 10 for the Raiders. They're outside of their own 35. This all started back at the Los Angeles 23. Beuerlein, his second pass attempt, knocked away by Joyner. Flags down out of the secondary once again.
Well, I got to believe that they're going to call this on Andre Waters for holding Bo Jackson as Bo comes around. He's coming out of the backfield. Andre Waters just steps up and grabs him. But now they're going to, what they call an offensive pass interference? The Bo grabbed him. It was strange. Waters was there. And the flag was thrown at the direction of Bo.
Offense, number 84, 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down, first down.
That's the tight end, Mike Dial.
Yeah, I know that's Dial, but they threw the flag right at Waters and Bo Jackson. They was standing there, and I just thought maybe they caught Bo, but they caught that man, number 84, Dial.
Well, it was almost a mistake-free first half, and now yellow is a prominent color in the third quarter with 31 seconds left. 1st and 20 for the Raiders. Back at their own 25-yard line. Pressure comes. Beuerlein gets it away. It's intercepted by Evans at the 30. Down to the 20. He's put down near the 17. Byron Evans.
They had a lot of people in Beuerlein's face, and I think it might have been Mike Golick, Bob Golick's little brother.
There is a flag down, though.
But they call it holding against.
We have illegal demonstration.
Illegal
By
demonstration.
number 56, 5-yard penalty, first down. 5 yards.
Okay, number 90 is Mike Golick. Look at this. He beats his man. He gets in the face. Evans picks up the interception and also an illegal demonstration.
You like that call?
I love this call.
I can tell.
The pressure is coming up the middle. Reggie White is on Mosbar there, but here's Mike Golick, number 90, right in Beuerlein's face. He throws the ball. This is what causes interceptions. You give credit to the defensive line. The linebacker made the interception, and he got a demonstration penalty. I love that.
We had a lot of fun with both Golick brothers yesterday. 1st and 10. The 21-yard line. Cunningham into the end zone for Giles. Overthrows his tight end.
I can't believe what Bob Golick told you yesterday.
Yeah, it was incredible. We had talked earlier to Mike Golick, who took some shots at his older brother. Bob Golick, the nose tackle, number 79, starting today for the Los Angeles Raiders, as Mike just made that big play for the Eagles defensive unit. When we told Bob what Mike had said in the Eagle locker room earlier, he said, "He's not my brother. The police just dropped him off at the doorstep."
But Mike said that their parents liked Michael better than Bob. Now, there's Bob there in the game. But they said that they like him, and Bob said that he's really not his brother. I like that.
2nd and 10. Ball close to the 22 of Los Angeles. Carter was the motion man. Cunningham rolling in that direction into the end zone. Overthrows Ron Johnson.
Well, you know, here's another one. We've got Chris Carter and Ron Johnson in the same spot, and I know even though Cunningham is rolling that way, it's not supposed to be. Now there's Johnson, 85, and Carter is 80. Now watch who comes into the picture. I mean, Haynes covers both of them. You don't need all those other guys back down there. You don't need 48 Washington nor Eddie Anderson.
Haynes is in there due to back spasms to the starting cornerback, Terry McDaniel. And they are very, very high on Terry McDaniel in his first year out of Tennessee. Only lasted 2 games last year before breaking his leg.
Let's also clear this up. The Golics had dinner together. The whole family is here in Philadelphia, so they all had dinner together last night.
Out of the shotgun, 3rd and 10 for Cunningham. Again into the corner, overthrowing Johnson, overthrowing everyone.
He did it on purpose. He's going to come away with a 3. He's not going to throw the ball away. Bob Golic is down.
I think he's just exhausted.
He is tired. I mean, they're chasing Cunningham all over the place, but that time Randall Cunningham threw the ball away.
It'll be a 39-yard field goal attempt for Luis Zendejas out of the hold of John Telchik. They'll put it down near the 29-yard line. Zendejas has already missed a 41-yard attempt. Exchange is good. Kick on its way. And it's wide left. It looked like it may have hit the outside of the upright.
You know, Telchik made a great play just getting the ball down because it was high. There is a penalty on the play. Wait a minute. It's against the defense and against the Raiders. Here he comes. Let's get this one straight now.
Offside. Number 25 lined up in the neutral zone. 5 yards. Repeat, 4th down.
Cornerback Dan Land. They haven't mentioned his name all day. What a way to get mentioned, huh? On an offside penalty on 4th down with a missed field goal. And that time Telchik did a great job just getting the ball down because the snap was high.
Move it 5 yards closer. It'll be a 34-yard attempt for Luis Zendejas. Doesn't make a mistake the second time. He still has a hook on it, but it's through the uprights and good. A little shaky there for Luis. They're not chanting Louis in the background either.
No, they're not.
There's a timeout of the field. As once again the Raiders capitalize, or rather the Eagles capitalize on the Raider quarters as they've outscored the Raiders 10-0 here in the 3rd quarter. First play of the 4th quarter, the kickoff taken in the end zone by Timmy Ware for a touchback. As we welcome you back to Veterans Stadium, I'm Joel Myers along with Paul McGuire. And now those 2 turnovers really costly for the LA Raiders because now they translate into 10 points for the Philadelphia Eagles.
You know, if you can, when you start making mistakes in the ball game, and that's the first thing coaches will talk to you about when you're getting ready to do a game. What was the problem last week? We turned the ball over. Here the Raiders have turned the ball over 2 times in a ball game, 10 points, and they have not scored a point. That's what breaks your back.
Berline back in there at quarterback. He replaced Jay Schroeder in the last series for the Los Angeles Raiders. More and more it appears the quarterback spot is going to be a problem for the Los Angeles Raiders, especially over the last 2 to 3 weeks. There's Bo Jackson breaking it across the 30 for a first down to the 32. You can't forget, though, that the Raiders traded Jim Lachey, a great offensive lineman, for Jay Schroeder in that Redskins deal.
All right, and here comes Bo Jackson to the left. Just watch Bo. He's picking his spots here, and he's getting some excellent blocking up front. Giesecke, number 63, gets a super block. And, you know, when you watch Bo run with the ball, especially left and right, when he's going wide, everybody gets tense in there. It gets very quiet because if he gets in the open, it's all over.
63 yards now for Jackson on 14 carries. First and 10 for the Raiders, their own 32-yard line. Movement on the line. The Eagles get back in time. Yes, they did. Berline's in trouble. Goes up and over Fernandez.
Did you see this play?
Slow motion.
It did. It really looked like slow motion.
Clyde Simmons bearing down on Jay Schroeder, and now a fight breaks out as we look at some of the other scores in the 7th week of the NFL season. There's Mike Golic.
Now, this is going to be one of those double dipper deals, right? They're going to name a couple of guys and offsetting. There's no sense even throwing the flags if you do that, though.
14:03 left in the fourth quarter.
Joe, that looks like slow motion. Philadelphia, they looked like they were offside. They got back. The ball was snapped. The Raiders kind of stopped.
It was almost as if the Raider offensive line said, should I move or not?
Yeah, they didn't know.
Personal foul, defense. Personal foul, offense. Criminals are all set.
Second down. I love that.
Boy, you really called him well, Paul. Really called him well.
I will tell you, that's the dumbest thing in the world to do. Just separate them and get on with it.
Miami extending their lead to 11 now over Green Bay at Joe Robbie Stadium. Still real good days for the Oilers and the Vikings. Washington now pulling away. Gerald Riggs just pushed across a 5-yard touchdown run for the Redskins.
Buddy trying to talk to his troops. Say, listen, let's not get complacent here. You only have a 10-point lead, especially with a guy like Bo Jackson. Willie Galt, Fernandez on the outside. They got to make something happen. This offense has to make something happen for the Raiders.
2nd and 10. The ball at the 32-yard line. Jackson, Smith in the backfield. Fairline going over the middle for Dial. Does he get it? Yes. It's taken into the 35. He took it away from Wes Hopkins.
You know, it's just a matter of time. And it looks like Dial is hurt. He's going off on his own. But Dial takes the ball away from Hopkins here. They threw one to Ethan Horton. Remember, one-on-one coverage. Now, you're going to see Dial coming off the line of scrimmage right now. Joyner breaks to the outside. Hopkins has him man for man. Jenkins, 46, can't get there in time. This was excellent coverage, but a super job by the tight end Dial to go and get the ball.
37 yards on the completion. 1st and 10 for 35. Jackson on the pick, turns it in. Gets about 3 down near the 32-yard line. Wrapped up by Reggie White. The Raiders had an outstanding drive. As we look at Art Shell, and I love what Art Shell told us yesterday about Raider tradition, because now every Wednesday or Thursday after practice, all the players just kind of hang out and he tells Raider stories about great days and the Raider history. Just trying to keep the tradition alive.
Wasn't it amazing? An 11-year veteran like Jerry Robinson saying, man, I'm sitting there with goosebumps listening to stories of older guys, and Shell is bringing that back to the Raiders.
2nd, close to 7. Ball to the 32. Fairline going over to the left side. The pattern was cut off, though, and broken off by Mervin Fernandez. So a breakdown of communication there as Fairline just has a puzzled look on his face.
You want to know who broke it off? How about Reggie White and Clyde Simmons? They almost broke off Fairline's arm. I mean, they were in his face. The pattern was broken off, but I think it was a lot of help by the defensive line.
So now a critical 3rd down coming up for the Los Angeles Raiders with 12:31 left in the 4th. They are 5 of 11 on 3rd down conversions. This is the best field position they've enjoyed in the 2nd half. Still 3rd and close to 8. Fairline has time. He'll run it near the 1st down marker. He's down at the 25-yard line. I believe he's short by about a half a yard, though.
He had to get almost to the 24-yard line, and he didn't get there. Will they try a field goal? I've got to believe this is 4-down territory for them if they don't have it. 3 doesn't help. They need 7. Here comes Fairline out of the pocket. Now he's being chased. Evans is there, but he does not get the 1st down. And here's where the crowd comes into play, right here.
For the last few seasons, the crowded Veterans Stadium, we've been told regularly.
Better hurry up. He's down to 5 seconds. 4.
They play off the emotion of the defense. 4th and inches. Smith over the top. I believe he's got the 1st down. Steve Smith near the 24-yard line. 3rd year out of Penn State. So the Raiders went for it on 4th and inches.
The clock almost ran out on them. They were down to 2 seconds on the 30-second clock.
So bringing the chains for a measurement. Pretty confident, aren't you?
He's got it by the nose of the ball. It's going to be 1st down either way.
Great call, Paul. Great call.
Hey, I knew. I'm right in the game.
They've got it.
First down.
Beuerlein trying to make things happen for head coach Art Shell. They brought him in late in the third quarter.
Beuerlein just a handoff. Right up over the top goes Steve Smith, and he gets the first down. Not by much, though, just by the nose of the ball. That's all you need.
They keep Smith in the backfield with Vance Mueller. Schrader with time again. Going for Willie Gault. Touchdown Raiders! Great protection in the pocket for Schrader.
I'm going to tell you something. They're going to get another penalty, and Clyde Simmons is going to get one if he doesn't get out of the referee's face, because they're all screaming and yelling that they're being held. And the Raiders ought to just get out of there and just go up to the line of scrimmage and let's let everybody else fight over what's going on. There's Brown being pushed out of there. Simmons, they all believe that they're being held.
There's Freddie Biletnikoff, Hall of Fame receiver for the Raiders.
What a great move by Willie Gault. He went to the inside, ran a post corner pattern, and just left everybody to the inside. He was wide open for the touchdown.
So Gault finally comes up with a reception. Coming into the game, he only had 5 catches over the last 5 games. It's a 24-yard touchdown pass. Jaeger in for the point after try. Out of the hold of Gossett. It's good. And the difference is now down to a field goal at Veterans Stadium. Willie Gault with the first points of the day for the Los Angeles Raiders on the pass from Steve Beuerlein. Be right back after these messages from your local station.
The double team is on Reggie White there, and Willie Gault just makes a superb move to the inside, back to the outside. Nobody there, and the pass was right on target.
Sherman and Higgs waiting for the kickoff. It bounces into the end zone. It'll be a touchback after the kickoff from Jeff Jaeger. An 80-yard, 8-play drive by the LA Raiders. But when we come back, the Eagles leading by 3 will have it at their own. It was to the advantage of the Los Angeles Raiders to keep it a low-scoring affair, and they've done exactly that. They only trail by 3 after the 8-play, 80-yard drive, culminating on the 24-yard touchdown pass from Beuerlein to Willie Gault. Bill Walsh back at Stanford Stadium with Dick Enberg. The second game of our doubleheader as the Patriots take on the 49ers. A homecoming for Bill Walsh. You can see it on NBC. Some of you will also see Denver at the Kingdome taking on the Seahawks in a big AFC Western Division matchup. I'm Joel Myers along with Paul McGuire. A 10-7 lead for the Philadelphia Eagles with 11:06 left in the fourth quarter. The Raiders wanted to depend upon their defensive unit, just like they have over the last 2 games. Last week, they said they wanted to beat up on Christian Okoye, wear him down. They did exactly that. And for the most part, they've stopped Randall Cunningham and the Eagles' offense. 1st and 10 from the 20. It's Anthony Toney across the 25, doing most of it on his own to the 27-yard line. Cincinnati on 4 Jim Breach field goals. The last one giving them a 3-point lead over the Indianapolis Colts. First points of the day finally come for the Jets in the fourth quarter on a field goal from Pat Leahy. Houston still shutting out Pittsburgh. Tight one in Kansas City. 2nd and 3. The pitch goes to Byers. Byers losing yardage only to the 26. Loses a yard. It'll bring up 3rd and 4.
Howie Long makes a great play to the outside, and he's the guy that really makes the tackle. And it just shows some of his range is coming back.
For some reason today, and we saw the Eagles in the first week of the season against the Seattle Seahawks, they are not taking as many chances offensively.
No, they're not. A very conservative ball club. We're going to see Howie Long coming out here. Let's take a look at Long. Down the line of scrimmage. Gets forced back to the inside by Mike Harden, and Long there to make the play. Excellent play.
Homecoming today for Howie Long. But his college ball at Villanova. 3rd and 4. Cunningham in the flat, and it's dropped. He went after Greg Garrity for the first time today. Coverage by Zeph Lee, former USC Trojan in his 3rd year. So right away, 3 downs and a punt. for the Philadelphia Eagles.
2 running plays, one that picked up like 7 yards on first down, and then they ran wide to Byers. It loses a couple of yards. Excellent play by the defense, and then a conservative pass to the outside. There's only a 3-point lead. You can't just sit on that. The Raiders like the way they ran that offense.
Barring a turnover, the Raiders should get exceptional field position with Bobby Joe Edmonds waiting for the punt from John Telchik. He's back near the 27-yard line. Returnable time for Edmonds at the 31, across the 40. Outstanding field position for the next offensive series for the Los Angeles Raiders. A 44-yard punt, an 11-yard return, and when we come back, the Raiders only down by 3. We'll have it 1st and 10 at their own 42. It's turned out to be a beautiful autumn afternoon at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, after we saw rain 3 of the last 4 days here. 1st and 10 at the 42 for the Raiders. Bo Jackson getting blocks, breaking tackles. He's near the midfield stripe. 8-yard carry for Bo Jackson. Finally bulldogged down by Clyde Simmons.
Well, Wes Hopkins just learned something about professional football, that you don't try to bump Bo Jackson down. Watch how quick Bo gets to the hole. Smith gets a block right there. Bo's back to the inside. Here comes Hopkins, 48. Look at this. All you do is knock him off stride a little bit. Didn't knock him down. Clyde Simmons makes the play, but Bo picked up 8 yards. Better put your arms around that guy.
73 yards. 16 carries now for Bo Jackson. He stays in the backfield along with Steve Smith on 2nd and short, 2nd and 2. Missed handoff. Beuerlein in no man's land. And he loses 3 back to the 47, near the 48.
Beuerlein looked like he was trying to give the ball to Steve Smith, number 35. Now, whether Smith ran the play too wide, you don't know. Smith is upset. Is he upset with himself? But this is not a pass play. This is a running play. And it looks like he just missed the handoff.
Sold out crowd at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. I'm Joel Myers along with Paul McGuire. Critical 3rd down coming up for the Raiders with 8 minutes and 23 seconds left in the 4th. They are 5 of 12 on 3rd down conversions. It's 3rd and 4 near the 48. Pressure comes on Beuerlein. Quick out. Fernandez has it. And Fernandez has the 1st down near the 45. He pushed back the cornerback, Isaiah Jenkins, and came back on the ball.
This was perfect timing between Beuerlein and Fernandez. And Jenkins was there to make the coverage. There's nothing you can do about it. When that timing is that good, all you want to do now is make sure he doesn't get a touchdown and stop him. He has the 1st down already.
Regardless of the outcome today, Steve Beuerlein may be winning himself a starting job. Jackson in the eye behind Smith on 1st and 10 to the 46. Bo Jackson plows it up the middle for very little. Gain of about 4 after all is said and done near the 42-yard line. Bo talking a little bit with Evans and some of the Eagles.
Bo's yardage kind of creeps up on you, doesn't it?
He had 85 yards last week. And that was after only 2 full days of practice.
Well, Bo said, all I want to do is help the best way I know how, and that's by getting the ball to him.
2nd and 6 at the 42. Jackson on the pitch. They turn Jackson inside, but he still breaks tackles. A yard short of the 1st down to the 37. The tightest one up top at Riverfront Stadium as the Bengals try to rebound from that 7-point loss to the Dolphins. Houston and Minnesota on their way to victories. And Tampa Bay coming back. Vinny Testaverde with a touchdown pass to Bruce Hill, a 22-yarder. The Buccaneers are down by only 8 now. Dallas will fall to 0-7. Another big 3rd down.
They really worked Bo in this second half. He looks a little tired.
3rd and 1. Dumping off for Smith. He's got it. He's got the 1st down. Steve Smith on the reception. And Beuerlein did a good job of just getting rid of the ball.
Seth Joyner was in his face. He was blitzing at that time. Now Smith I don't know whether he's supposed to check up the linebacker or not. It doesn't make any difference because Beuerlein read it right away. Right of your screen. Smith goes out. There's Joyner. He couldn't have blocked him anyway. And that ball was dumped up in the air. That gives you a chance to get underneath the ball. Smith made the catch, picked up the first down. Now they're in field goal range.
And don't forget, the Raider defense set this all up by holding the Eagles when they started their last drive at their own 20-yard line and couldn't pick up a first down. Up the middle goes Smith. He's got 6 yards, close to 7 on the carry.
You know what happened on that last play? They caught the Eagles in a shift, and they talked to us yesterday about this. The Schrader was saying that, well, sometimes they'll shift, moving the whole offense or defensive line, and when they do that, if we can get them in a quick count, then we've got them sitting back on their heels. They did it that time and picked up 7 yards on the play.
Steve Smith now, 8 carries, 32 yards. He started at fullback for Penn State's national championship team back in '86. He stays in the backfield with Bo Jackson. It gets the pitch. And Jackson put down in a hurry. He loses a yard back to the 25. Looked like Clyde Simmons was knifing through. He got Jackson around the ankles.
Jerome Brown is very slow getting up. He's all right. Let's go right down the line of scrimmage. Brown is 99. Now here they come up inside, and that is Jerome Brown that gets a piece of him at that point. But he was pushed into Bo Jackson.
3rd and a long 4 with the ball at the 25. Raiders 50% so far on 3rd down conversion. 7 of 14. Long count. Beuerlein trying to draw them off. Beuerlein over the middle. Smith again has the first down, lunging to the 20-yard line.
Awful lot of patience on this football team, this Raider football team. Remember the one thing that man right there told us yesterday, the confidence factor that's back into this football team. They do not believe anymore that they're out of a football game, no matter what the score is, no matter what the odds are.
The one thing that stands out in my mind from Marshall yesterday, he's talking about getting everybody tough again. He said execution brings about toughness. It's not a big fight or a head slap or whatever, but execution. Right now they're executing. Smith's got it again. He's got 4 yards on the carry. Going to the 16-yard line on 1st and 10. Clock continues to roll. Under 3:45 left in the 4th. Jagers missed 1 field goal already looking down the road. He has missed 1 field goal already today. That was a 28-yard attempt. He came into the contest 7 of 10. He's now 7 of 11. He's hit a 50-yarder. That was last Sunday in a win over the Chiefs.
Here we got Willie Gault one-on-one on the outside with Eric Allen, number 21.
The pitch to Jackson on 2nd down. They get to Bo Jackson in a hurry. No gain on the carry. A loss of possibly a yard. Yes, a loss back to the 16.
Yeah, but the guy that made the play again is that man right on your screen, and that's Jerome Brown.
He's a workaholic ball.
He really is, and that's twice now. He's just caved Bo in.
Well, the Eagles hold on 3rd down deep in their own territory. 2 minutes and 40 seconds left. Gault to one side, Fernandez to the other. On 3rd and 6 with the ball at the 16. Pressure on Beuerlein, he's down. Back at the 23, near the 24. Seth Joyner, the first one in there for the Eagles. 3rd sack of the day for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Now, Seth Joyner is the guy number 59 that comes in, and he's going to come in from the right-hand side of the screen, which is out in here somewhere, and I don't think that's not him here, I don't believe. But he's going to come into the inside and then just grab the arm of Beuerlein. Here comes Seth all the way around the other side. He wasn't in the picture, but he grabs the arm of Beuerlein. He almost got the fumble.
It'll be a 42-yard field goal attempt by Jager to tie it up. So we wind down to the 2-minute warning. Out of the hold of the punter, Gossett. It's up, and it's on its way and wide right. He pushed it right. Jager now 0 for 2 on the afternoon. We have reached the 2-minute warning at Philadelphia, and the Eagles cling to a 3-point lead. The Philadelphia Eagles defensive unit gave up only 5 points to the Phoenix Cardinals last week in a tough afternoon for Jeff Jager, the place kicker, now 0 of 2.
Oh, and he knew it as soon as he hit it. I mean, you could tell by the feel on your foot. He just knew that he missed it.
Toney on the carry. Big yardage on 1st and 10 with under 2 minutes left. He's out to the 28-yard line.
I'll tell you right now, if old Eddie Anderson, number 33, wasn't there, Toney would be still running, and that'd be touchdown. Eddie Anderson is the man that comes up and really makes the play.
A gain of 8 on 1st down. A timeout for the Raiders. They've got 2 left at Veterans Stadium.
Number 78 and Mike Shad, number 79. Shad is the guard. And watch the cross blocking for these two guys. And if it wasn't for this man here, Eddie Anderson, there's touchdown. Watch this cross blocking first. There's the guard to tackle. There's the hole. And here comes Anderson. And if he doesn't make this play, Toney's gone.
In the second half, Paul, the Eagles have had 19 offensive plays. Only 19, 10 runs, and 9 passes.
Well, they said they wanted to wear the Raiders down by running the ball at them, but when you only have 19 plays, was against Phoenix. Phoenix had 29 plays in the second quarter against Philadelphia.
Second, and a little bit better than a yard. Toney going for the first down. He's got it across the 35 near the 40-yard line. Mike Haynes, the cornerback, making the stop of the secondary. And now the Raiders stop the clock once again. They've only got 1 timeout remaining. Indianapolis with their first lead of the day. Jack Trudeau with a 3-yard touchdown pass to Albert Bentley. As the Colts take the lead over the Bengals. Minnesota and Houston have been rolling since the outset. Steve Ballore with a 5-yard touchdown run for the Chiefs on their last TD.
See, there's a game you like to see the 2-point play in. You know that? 8 points down. You know, you can't score a touchdown and make a decision to go for it.
And you're talking about Washington, Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Are you going to start lobbying with Art McNally and the rest of the NFL?
Well, when I was in the old AFL, we had the 2-point play. It was exciting. Puts a lot of heat on the coaches, you know.
1st and 10 for the Eagles. Minute 38 left. The Raiders with only 1 timeout remaining. Ball to the 40-yard line. Call Toney's number again. Why not? He stopped the original line, though, for no gain on his 15th carry of the day. Bill Pickell. In for the Raiders, who have just used their final timeout. 61 yards so far for Anthony Toney. Coming up next, many of you will see the Patriots and 49ers at Stanford Stadium. Some of you will also see Denver and Seattle at the Kingdome. And we'd like to remind you this telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Philadelphia Eagles and the NFL is prohibited. And this game is the property of the NFL, the Eagles, and also the Los Angeles Raiders. All rights reserved.
Now the Eagles are down to only 1 tight end. They lost David Little on that last play, number 89. Keith Jackson has a sprained ankle. And I believe they're going to bring in number 66, Kenny Reeves, and play him at tight end, and he has to report on every single play. There's Little. We'll see if Reeves lines up at tight end. Yes, he is.
Randall Cunningham has thrown for 64 yards today. And there's Reeves, the new tight end due to the injury situation. He has run for 58 yards. They can run out the clock now.
They run for 57 yards now.
Takes a loss on that one. But that further illustrates the conservative game plan that the Philadelphia Eagles, for the most part, have gone with today against the Los Angeles Raiders. They were wide open, though, the first time we saw them against the Seattle Seahawks in that 31-7 victory.
Just no question about it. And this man here, I mean, this team, Art, your team played a tremendous defensive football game.
Played their hearts out.
And just think about it, until late in the second quarter, or late in the third quarter, where finally the turnovers came. There were 2 turnovers by the offense. And at that time, no points on the board, ended up with 10 against them.
They're down Another snap, another knee to the ground for Randall Cunningham.
Doesn't have to.
That's it. That will be it. Randall Cunningham and the Philadelphia Eagles winning their third straight game to raise their record to 5-2.
Hey, buddy, come back, buddy. There's 20 seconds. Buddy, buddy's gone. He's in the locker room.
I guess he wanted to meet with the opposing head coach.
Yeah, but he's coming to his locker room. We'll meet him in there. Art's looking for him.
Art Shell suffering his first setback as the Raiders head coach after taking over 4 games into the season for Mike Shanahan, but they are on their way back with Art Shell at the controls.
There's no doubt in my mind, and I'm going to tell you something. He's taking his time with his team, and he knows that they are only 2 or 3 players away from being back in the dominant team in the AFC West, or absolutely in football.
Their defense, another splendid effort today, Paul. And just think offensively when you've got a Jackson in the backfield, Willie Gault at wide receiver, what they'd be like with Marcus Allen available. He's out for another 2 to 3 weeks. And also Tim Brown, who they lost for the season.
You know, it's an amazing thing, though, if you think about all the Super Bowls, and we've talked about this before, Joel, the teams that go to Super Bowls are defensive football teams. And both of these teams today, the defenses have played so very, very well. And if that is together, the offense will come.
In addition to that, most feel that you can't go to the Super Bowl without a running game. And that's why the Philadelphia Eagles really wanted to make that commitment today.
Well, remember that they didn't have any at all in preseason. They didn't have that much against Seattle when they played them in the first game. And that's the one thing that they really have to work on. There's Cunningham and Shell.
Don't forget, coming up on many of these NBC stations, the Patriots and the 49ers at Stanford Stadium. And also Denver taking on the Seattle Seahawks in the second half of our football doubleheader. So it was a tight affair, a defensive struggle between the Eagles. There's Reggie White. He's got more hurries than anyone else on the defensive front. And now it's time for our MVP, sponsored by Budweiser. Today's most valuable player, Randall Cunningham. Did it on the ground for the most part today. And Budweiser is going to make a contribution to the United Way on behalf of Randall Cunningham, selected as our MVP in today's game. Watched the show on television here last night in Philadelphia. He's really having a lot of fun. He's doing it all.
And I'm going to tell you something. He will not hesitate to run to make something happen in this football team. If the passing game isn't working, he will start the running game himself. And that's the one thing, the Raiders talking to them yesterday, Joel, and the teams that play this, the Philadelphia Eagles, what they're mostly afraid of is his running ability.
And that's what frustrates most teams. Brilliant coverage downfield, and all of a sudden you see him coming at you with a running lane available.
And again, they timed him. They didn't. They never timed quarterbacks in the 40.
Right.
So he wanted to be timed. He saw everybody else being timed. He said, "I want to be timed." So he runs a 4.5 40. Now that's not too bad. That's this kind of team.
Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. So the Philadelphia Eagles raise their record to 5-2 with a 3-point win over the LA Raiders. The Raiders fall now to 3-4. They have their 2-game winning streak snapped, but you have to like what you saw from the Los Angeles Raiders defensive unit. And the Philadelphia Eagles, well, they've got to worry about that offensive attack because they did not really try to open things up at all today.
Well, with Quick out and then you lose Jackson, I mean, those are 2 of your starters and the key people that Randall Cunningham throws the ball to.
Don't forget the second half of our doubleheader coming up. The New England Patriots taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Some of you will also see Denver at Seattle, the second half of our NBC doubleheader. So stay tuned. So the Philadelphia Eagles get it done for the most part on the ground today. They did not go up top with Randall Cunningham, but they stuck with it on the ground. Quick exit by the head coach of the Eagles, Buddy Ryan.
There's still like 20-some seconds, but Buddy knew, wait a minute. He said, look, you can't run any more plays. They don't have any more timeouts. We're not going to take a timeout. Let me get in there and get a little warmer. It's been a beautiful day, Buddy, but I can understand leaving early. You don't want to be overrun by the crowd.
There's a great shot. The executive producer of NBC Sports is Terry O'Neill. Great shots we were provided with today. Our producer, George Finkel, and our director, Brian Sheriff. The Eagles win it by 3, 10-7 over the Los Angeles Raiders. I'm Joel Myers. For my partner, Paul McGuire, thank you for joining us, and stay tuned for the Patriots and 49ers, Seahawks.